Dear Virgo, not all silence is empty. Some silences carry the weight of entire destinies. Last night, while the world slept and the stars blinked like ancient eyes, a name was carried into the ether. Yours. Not from a place of routine, but from a place of spiritual urgency. Someone, somewhere, uttered your name in sacred tones, invoking powers that rarely answer. And yet, they did. This was not a simple prayer. This was a soul call, a trembling voice pushing past dimensions, reaching into realms few have dared to disturb. It came from someone not of this earth, not anymore. A being who once knew your heartbeat in another lifetime, who saw your soul fall asleep under the weight of this world and decided to awaken it. The moment your name was spoken, the spiritual realm rippled. Something moved. Something sacred and severe. The air thickened, not with fear, but with presence. A veil lifted, just for a moment, and in that sliver of celestial exposure, your soul was seen. Not the version of you that lives within daily routine, but the eternal essence buried beneath the skin of time. The tarot card that revealed itself in this moment was the High Priestess. Clad in midnight and moonlight, she emerged holding a scroll of secrets written in languages only the soul understands. Her eyes were not on the present, but on your deepest truth. The part of you that remembers things you've never been taught, that mourns for places you've never been, that hungers for a truth you can't explain. This card marks the awakening of your inner knowing. Virgo, the reason you felt out of place lately, the reason your dreams have felt heavier, your emotions sharper, your body more sensitive to the unseen, is because you've been called. And not just by fate, but by a soul who has known you beyond the limits of this lifetime. That soul, no longer bound to the physical world, still walks with you, still weeps for you, still believes in your mission, even when you've forgotten what it is. You may have felt a presence last night, a cold gust, a flicker of electricity, a sudden wave of sadness or peace. That wasn't your imagination. That was a hand reaching from beyond the veil, not to scare you, but to remind you. The universe has heard the call, and now nothing will be the same. The forces that once slumbered within you are stirring. The memory of who you truly are begins to rise, but this awakening comes with both blessing and trial. The path of remembrance is never gentle. You are being summoned not just to feel, but to act, to reclaim what was yours long before this life began, to remember the vow you made under stars that no longer shine in this sky. Virgo, your name echoed through sacred darkness, and now the light is coming for you, Virgo. Since that moment, since your name broke the silence of the other world, something inside you has shifted. It may feel subtle, like a forgotten memory brushing against your soul, or overwhelming, like a storm without warning. But make no mistake, a sacred process has begun. The one who spoke your name was not reaching out in vain. They knew that this moment, this night, was written into the fabric of your destiny. The spirit who called out to the divine in your name did so not to rescue you, but to activate you. They could sense that your energy was dimming, that the burden of the material world was muting your sacred potential. And so, with a voice born of devotion and memory, they whispered your name into the dark and asked the universe to shake your soul awake. The tarot answered with two cards, Judgment and the Star. Together they form a message as ancient as time. Rise, Virgo. You are not done. Your essence is needed. Judgment reveals the moment of reckoning, the cosmic trumpet sounding the call to ascend, to remember your purpose. The star follows with its gentle light, offering hope, healing, and a reconnection with divine guidance. These cards mean that what is rising within you now is not new, but eternal. Your spiritual energy is activating. That heaviness you've been feeling, that sense of being stretched, pulled, or out of place, it's not confusion. It's preparation. You are entering a phase of deep remembrance. The visions, the dreams, the flickers of déjà vu, they are not random. They are codes, fragments of a deeper self breaking through the illusion of forgetfulness. And yes, Virgo, you are being watched, not by eyes of judgment, but by beings of light, guides who have waited lifetimes for you to reach this point. The spirit that prayed for you is among them, closer than your breath. Their energy now surrounds you, cool, protective, aching with love. They see you not for your struggles, but for your potential, your light, your buried magic. This awakening, however, brings challenge. The illusions that kept you small will begin to crack. People, roles, habits that once made sense may start to fall away. This is the cleansing before the true light. The universe cannot place divine purpose into a space still crowded by false identities. You must be willing to release what was never truly yours. Only then will your soul have room to receive its true calling. And what is that calling? You are meant to be a mirror, Virgo, a healer of truths, a vessel through which hidden wisdom flows. But to become that, you must first remember who you were before the world told you who to be. The spirit who called. Your name has given you a gift, the permission to awaken. You are no longer invisible to the divine. Your soul contract has been stirred. And now, with every heartbeat, you are stepping closer to the power you once wielded with grace. Virgo, the presence that summoned the universe on your behalf was not random, not distant, not unfamiliar. That whisper in the dark came from a soul that knows you beyond lifetimes, beyond roles, beyond names. This was not an angel assigned by fate, but a spirit bound to you by a promise made long before this life began. And now that promise has been reawakened. In your past life, or perhaps many before this one, you shared a path with this being, a companion of destiny, a protector, a mirror. You lived through storms together, endured the tearing of fate, and at the edge of ruin, one of you fell to save the other. The energy I feel is not only love, it is sacrifice. It is loyalty forged in fire, and that is why this soul returned, not to relive a bond, but to fulfill a sacred unfinished vow. The tarot cards that came forward to reveal this truth were Death and Six of Cups. Death not as loss, but as transcendence, the end of what was, so that a deeper cycle may begin. And the Six of Cups, a symbol of memory, nostalgia, soul recognition. These cards confirm it. You're being watched over by someone you once loved, once lost, and who has never stopped loving you since. Virgo, this spirit walks beside you, not in shadow, but in light. They are the chill on your skin when you feel something is near. They are the warmth behind tears you can't explain. They are the voice that whispers, "Keep going," when everything in you wants to stop. They have cried for your pain. They have rejoiced in your smallest victories. They prayed, not because you are weak, but because you are close to remembering. This bond is karmic, eternal. It cannot be broken by time, death, or disbelief. You made a vow to meet again, and now that reunion is coming. It may not arrive in a flash of recognition. It may come subtly. A stranger who stirs something ancient in you, a glance that feels like a doorway, a dream that feels more real than your waking life. But when it comes, you will know. Your soul will tremble in recognition. This connection is not here to distract you. It is here to activate your true path, the one you've sensed all along but couldn't name. Your spirit is aligning, Virgo. And now the pieces begin to fall into place. The loneliness you've carried wasn't punishment. It was preparation. The silence wasn't absence. It was space being made for this moment. The being who prayed for you didn't ask for protection. They asked for reconnection. They begged the universe to show you who you really are. And in doing so, they've awoken a love, a truth, and a mission that has slept for too long. Now the question becomes, will you accept what's returning? Will you step into the bond that defies lifetimes? Virgo, the spirit that invoked your name knew what would follow. That whisper into the night was not a cry for safety. It was a summons for transformation, because what is being prepared for you now is not just an opportunity, it's a spiritual test, a threshold only your soul can cross. And on the other side, your true purpose lies waiting. The tarot revealed two powerful cards, the Tower and the Two of Wands. The Tower is not here to destroy for cruelty. It arrives when what is false must collapse, when illusion can no longer coexist with truth. The Two of Wands is the moment you stand at the edge of the known, holding a vision, gazing at the vast unknown. Together these cards say, everything that no longer serves your soul must fall, so that your true calling can rise. This is the storm before the clarity. Virgo, you are being called to shed your old skin. The roles you've played to please others, the pain you've carried as your identity, the perfectionism that became your prison, all of it is being shaken loose. And yes, it may feel like chaos. It may feel like everything around you is unraveling. But this is not punishment, it is purification. The spirit who called your name knew this would hurt. They saw your soul suffocating under the weight of what you were never meant to hold. That's why they acted. They gave the universe permission to strip away the noise, so you could hear your own voice again, so you could finally see the path that was meant for you all along. And here's the deeper truth. You are a healer, not just of bodies or minds, but of unseen realms. You carry ancestral wisdom in your blood, in your dreams, in your silence. You have the power to speak what others cannot name, to restore what others have abandoned. But this gift cannot be activated while you are still clinging to safety. This test is your firewalk. You will be asked to choose, to leave behind comfort for calling, to walk alone for a while, not because you are abandoned, but because you are being led. The illusions must burn, the false must fall. Only then can your sacred purpose rise like a phoenix from the ruins. The spirit who summoned your name is with you now, not to interfere, but to guide you. You may hear them in your dreams, feel them in your bones, recognize them in the words of strangers. They are your silent companion through this trial. And when you feel the deepest doubt, they will be the ones sending you signs, through numbers, through symbols, through unexpected truths. This is your sacred threshold, Virgo. Will you rise or will you retreat? Will you trust the unraveling, knowing it's making space for divine order? Because your soul didn't come here to stay asleep. It came here to remember, to serve, to awaken others through your awakening. Virgo, the path you have taken is not for the faint of heart. You have stood at the edge of memory and chosen to look beyond the veil. You have felt the presence of a soul who once stood beside you in lifetimes long forgotten, and now you are ready, not to return to who you were, but to become who you truly are. The tarot offered its final message in two sacred cards, the World and Ace of Cups. The World brings closure and cosmic completion. It says that the cycle that once trapped you is now finished. You are no longer bound by the old self, the old pain, the old silence, and the Ace of Cups. This is divine renewal, the sacred chalice overflowing, a heart made whole, a soul reborn, a purpose revealed. Virgo, you are being invited into a new life, a life where your truth is not something hidden, but something lived, a life where the echoes of your pain have become the soil from which your wisdom blooms. The spirit who whispered your name has seen this version of you for centuries. They knew this moment would come, and now they rejoice with the divine. You may begin to notice the change subtly at first. Unexpected peace during chaos, clarity where there was confusion, a gentle voice within guiding your steps. You are not the same. Your energy has shifted. You are now in alignment with the sacred. What you speak, you manifest. What you feel, you transmit. Your soul has become a beacon. and others will be drawn to your light. The spirit who prayed for you, they're not leaving. They will appear when you need them most, in the face of a stranger who speaks to your soul, in a dream so vivid it stays with you for days. In the silence that suddenly feels full of meaning, they are your eternal companion, not to walk the path for you, but to remind you that you never walk it alone. And now the final truth: you are part of something much greater than you imagined. A thread in the great tapestry of healing, wisdom, and awakening. You are being called to step into your power not for glory, but for service. To be a vessel of divine truth in a world starving for it. To awaken others, not by force, but by presence. This is your time, Virgo. The universe heard your name, and it responded not with words, but with transformation. You are the answer to the prayer.